Okay, welcome to Works. I'm going to put an easy pull on this, and he asked me to see if I can put a lanyard on this, a lanyard hole, and this is why I bought this smaller tubing. And I'm going to have to use a smaller tubing on this one because there's just not the clearance that the other one has. And what I'm going to have to do is take some careful measurements, and as I don't want to pull this completely apart unless I have to. I mean, worst case scenario, I'd take out the rear pin and the spring pin and redo those, but another way I could do it is replacing that rear pin and that might be doable, but that would require that I pull out this pin and this pin, and yeah, I'll get it squared away, but maybe the cleanest way to do it is with that rear pin. Nice half stops on that already, and this has a nice half stop on it. Usually ask customers if the blades don't have half stops, if they want them in there. And it's an extra feature that takes literally seconds. I don't know why Case stopped doing it on their knives. They don't do it on the full-size trapper, but they do it on the mini trapper. Which, I mean, doesn't make sense to me. These older trappers, some of these older ones don't have half stops. I don't know why that is. But yeah, you know, the more I think about it, the more I want to, that's the way to do it, is to take out that rear pin and this pin and do it carefully. A habit to put that back. And I didn't start this video earlier because I was sitting there looking for that spring, and had I stopped and thought about it, it was exactly where I knew I set it down. Okay, see, this is why doing this kind of stuff when you're not feeling well kind of sucks. I was looking for that punch, and I just remembered I broke it, so I got this other one. It's probably on its last legs. It's bent, so hopefully this doesn't break. Alright, so that's what we're left with, and what I want to do is I want to take this rear pin. Yeah, that'll work. It gets awfully close. But I say that, but when the spring goes up, it will push that blade just a little bit higher. I guess I just get worried about blades, the snipe on that. But it is a brass tube, so it'll happen once or twice, and after that it really won't bother it too much. We'll see what happens. He wants it, and I mean, fairly straightforward. Drill the 1/4 inch holes right there, and take a 1/4 inch carbide bit and just let it nestle right in that spring. That's kind of my thinking on it. There's really no other way I can see that working. Yeah, that's gonna be all right. Takes a little bit off there, and I'll mark it with a blue pen, and I'll scribe it before I start working towards that. I'll show you guys tomorrow what I'm going to do, but I don't see any reason why I can't drill these 1/8 inch holes, or I'm sorry, 1/4 inch holes tonight. Even I'll just take and put this pin back in place to hold that liner. So now I got that, and all I need to do is drill the 1/4 inch hole right there. And I'm probably going to do an F-bit, because I actually do have an F-bit, and an F-bit is slightly bigger than a 1/4 inch. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to do that, because I want a tight fit, and sometimes those... Okay, 3/16. So it's slightly bigger than, or slightly smaller than 1/4 inch, so that's better. See, I forgot that was 3/16. Lucky I measured it before I drilled that hole. So I'm going to go drill a 3/16 hole on this side, pull out this pin, do it on this side, and go from there. I'm going to stop the video, go drill this hole, do the same thing on the other side, and I'll come back with the holes drilled out. So I'm back. I drilled those holes, and it went without a hitch. And here's where we're at. I sanded down that tube, and it's sitting right there, and it looks like it's about a 1/16 of an inch towards the bottom that needs to be taken off just to line up and have that spring rest in place. And I'm just going to take my carbide bit and kind of go slowly until it fits. See, this is a problem with when I get in this like state of mind, or this get to the point where I feel like the project is getting like close, I get a little not excited, but not even impatient, but I just have this desire to get it finished. And I know I'm not going to get it finished tonight, but I can at least get this part done. like it was doing a lot, but it wasn't. I just basically rounded out the bottom just slightly, and okay, I need to come back a little bit this direction because it's not sitting flush the other direction. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I'll figure it out later. So essentially what I did is I took that square looking notch that was there, and I just ran this carbide bit and made a rounded end to it. And that looks like that's going to be pretty doggone close. Yeah, just a little bit more in this direction because it's not lining up with the hole. All right, that's lining up perfect. No exaggeration, not trying to embellish in anything. I'm surprised at that one. I thought it would take a few more tries. And maybe I spoke a little too soon. It looks just a little bit proud, but make sure that it's not. Put this in the vise and see if that whole line up. All right. What happens when you speak too soon? So that's kind of where we're at with that. I think that tiny bit, and it sounds like a lot, but it's not taking off much. I know I have brass rod. I'm hoping I have brass rod that can fit in here.
I know I do somewhere.
So I'm going to have to pull that pin out and put a little bit of a chamfer on there. So when I flare it out, it has something to grab onto. But it looks like there's already something there, but I just want to be safe. And, you know, now that I know it fits and everything's good, I'm just going to take and pull that pin back out. And I'm going to put a little bit of a chamfer for the brass to grab onto. I don't know, I just might put rounded pins on this. I think that'd be a cool little added touch. If I do that, I'll do it tomorrow. And with this one, I'll do that tapered punch trick and flare out each end. But now there's a lanyard hole, or there will be, and we'll get that in place. And we'll mark out where we're going to put that easy pull. Kind of a cool modification. Fairly straightforward. I mean, I say that now, but we'll see how it looks when I'm all done with it. So on these pins, they can't be sitting too far above the surface when I round the heads. And the reason why I'm around the heads is because I think it'd be a little more secure. I don't know, but that might be feel weird with that, so maybe I'll just dome the pins, the heads. I'll be careful because I don't want to crack that Delrin. It's can crack just as easy as bone sometimes. Yeah, I'll smooth that over with some sandpaper and that'll be good. So I'm gonna go cut these ends off and flare the ends. Pads. I was wondering what those lines were. The spine of that dagger was laying right here, and I was tapping on it with a carbide hammer. I mean, I can't even feel them, so it's just cosmetic. I was like, what the heck did I do? So I'm going to put the bigger one on the bottom. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in the vise. So basically I got the bigger pin on the bottom on the vise. I'm going to rest it on there, put this on the top, and just flare it out so it holds it in place. See, I gotta get in the habit of just putting stuff back. Everything that I'm putting down to the right of me has a place up here, and when I look for it, I can't find it, and it's just killing me. So just cleaning out the inside of that tube. And I'm gonna surprise you guys and not show you yet, so. So we got the Sodbuster with lanyard hole. I'll clean it up a little bit more. I can't feel anything. It's not wanting to come apart. So I know that I know I said I'd wait till tomorrow, but again, when the project's this close, it's kind of hard to sleep. And I'm trying to look, and usually easy pulls are located kind of right around the nail nick if there was one. So I'm going to try to locate or try to replicate that under the nail nick. There is this little engraving on there, but you know, that is secondary to, I think, the importance of the placement of that easy pull. What I'm going to use first is this rotary or this drum sanding bit, and I think it's the right size for an easy pull, and I got rough sandpaper on there so it'll make easy work of this brass and this Delrin. I just got to be careful not to go too quick and go below the blade. So, but you don't need to do much for an easy pull. So after I got the notch started, I started kind of going a little bit quicker. It's where I want it to be. Obviously that is kicking up some brass on the side, and that made that blade not want to go down there. Oh, I see. It's throwing some brass down in the bottom of there with Delrin, and it's making not want to close. So, all right, good. So what I'm looking for now is evenness and making sure it goes straight across. So sandpaper is working just fine, but I think a smooth cutting carbide bit will do an easier, a better job than sandpaper. And between those two, this one has a finer teeth, so I'm going to use that. Yeah, that was the right choice to go with the carbide bit. Made a lot smoother cut, and of course there's a little bit of cleanup with the brass burrs on the end of there. I want the easy pull to actually be purposeful, so I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Like come up towards the top a little wider. So I still got some finish work, and finish work I can do a little bit off camera, but I think that it does what it needs to. There's a really easy place for that your finger to grab and go into. I think maybe a little bit, maybe just a little bit bigger and a little bit deeper, and it'll be perfect. If you go too slow with carbide bits, they start bumping around and they don't have a good smooth finish unless you're going faster. So I recommend that you get a good consistent speed. And all I'm doing is scraping off the Delrin frayed ends and cleaning out the brass. So now we got a modified Sodbuster with an easy pull and a lanyard hole. Lanyard hole is use maybe some dental floss and some paracord or a piece of leather. A small piece of leather will go in there with no problems. I think that's a little more practical and good for the pocket, and you don't have I know I've seen some that have bails on them, and if you're going to carry that on your hip, that's cool, I guess. But I think this is probably the more practical modification to do on a Sodbuster, simply because it's usable, and if you don't need it, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it's meant to be on there. So first time doing that to a Sodbuster. Now that I have that in my, I guess, memory bank of how to do something, that's just that much easier the next time I do it. And super cool stuff, man. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bragging way. I'm saying it in that a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, and you got something that's completely new and modified. Now he has a bunch of this jimping up here. He didn't want me to do anything with it, so as much as I want to, I'm going to leave it alone. So you guys, that's a little further than I wanted to go on the video, but I'm happy I did. I'll release this later on in the week, and tomorrow we'll finish this one up, and then probably work on Matt's moose. But this is James. You guys have a wonderful evening. Stay safe. Man, it sucks not feeling well. You guys stay safe. You guys stay warm. Thank you guys for watching. It was fun doing this. I said that already, but I can't tell you how much this kind of stuff is just relaxing for me. And it makes me kind of just go off and not even think about being sick right until I'm done. Then I know I'm sick. But anyways, I'm going to bring these in. Gonna wish that I would have finished this. This is gonna bug me, so I'll be in here as early as I can to get that finished up tomorrow. So I'll get this one cleaned up, get the blade kind of fixed up, sharpened, polished, and that will be done. And that's another knife off my list. All right, thank you guys.